G'day fellas and welcome to A Casted Game. This is game 2 in the series between Marine Lord, who spawns in the north of the map playing as the English, and his opponent, Lucifron 7, who spawns in the south of the map and plays as the Delhi Sultan. What I will do is I'll show you a quick little graphic on your screen as we begin to witness the openings of these games here. We'll follow along with a scout here. And you can take a look at where we are currently at. So Dry Arabia was game number 1. Both civilizations were used, the French and the Rus in that game, so they have been blanked out. Players won't be able to choose those civilizations and have indeed opted for the Delhi as well as the English here on this map. And I gotta say, it definitely feels like it is a Lucifron favored matchup right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he looks to try and take this game as early as possible. Now, there are a number of good reasons why that is, but first and foremost, he's playing Delhi. And I know a lot of people talk crap about Delhi, and when I say talk crap, I mean, you know, they don't think that they're that good. Me personally, I still think they're very good. I still think they're a really good civilization because they haven't really been nerfed that much. Like, the main nerf that you've seen out of Delhi in the most recent patch was the fact that herbal medicine got moved to Castle Age. And you want to know the thing? In this tournament, herbal medicine's banned. So it's not like it's going to be a big deal for a lot of these guys. So I still think Delhi is top tier. Honestly, I really do. I'll be looking forward to seeing how Lucifron uses it, because as we talk about very often when we have the Delhi, it is all about their power spikes. And what is a power spike? A power spike is when you achieve a level of power, and it's important that once you've hit that threshold, that you look to try and do as much damage as you can immediately, because you are now as powerful as you should be, or as you are, you know, at the moment. So as an example, in League of Legends, when you finish an item, that is going to make your power, you know, really strong. Or when you reach level 2, that is going to be a really good power spike for some champions. And that's the same thing in Age of Empires 4 with regard to the Delhi. So with regard to the Delhi, their power spikes are after they've taken the 3 sacred sites, they get a nice little power spike because it means they're going to have all that juicy gold going to be coming through. So they'll drop down a market and look to try and sell a bit of that gold off for some food and throw it into a couple more units. So that's a power spike. And another power spike is after they have finished horticulture, after they've finished double broadaxe, and after they've finished specialized pick. All of their economy is going to be kicking off like crazy, and so that is another power spike. So Lucifron will be looking to utilize those power spikes, making sure that he, you know, dots his I's and crosses his T's, those sorts of things, and would try and probably get up to the Castle Age, and then look to try and take out Marine Lord on the opposite side. And I'm very curious what Marine Lord has got in store for us today, because this is a very difficult, I will say it, this is a very hard matchup on this map. Typically, I don't think you'd want to play the English on this map. I have seen people playing them on here, but to me, it doesn't really seem like there's much synergy. Obviously, the English are in a great position in the late game, and we have continued to see the English evolve, but I think, I guess that may, honestly, maybe the cat, what's the term? The cat is out of the bag or something like that. Like, maybe, I don't know. I really don't know much about English. And look at this already. Marine Lord going to be bringing down some outposts on these sacred sites in the center. I got to say, I like this. This is a nice adaptation. And this is exactly what he needs to be able to take away these sacred sites. And starting with the middle one, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like actually going to an edge sacred site would have made more sense, because typically the English, they're not going to be running cavalry. And if you're running a cavalry composition, you're going to be able to run over the entire map. You're going to be able to run up to the north, run down to the south, all that kind of stuff. As the English, you're going to be focusing on infantry, which means that you're going to be very easily able to contest this sacred site in the middle with your infantry units. And typically, as the English in the early game, you're going to be able to do that quite effectively. So I feel like having a villager come out and put this down early, I don't know, maybe he's going to look to do it on all 3 sacred sites. We'll have to watch and see how he plays, but you can see he's gathering up plenty of resources back in the base here, dropping down his second house as well. He is looking to invest heavily, but I guess that's going to hurt his age up time. We can see the age up time there, he's struggling. I mean, we're at 4 minutes right now. He hasn't gone for... Never mind. He went for an early wheelbarrow. Now, don't mind me. Don't mind me. Just keep looking the other way, fellas. Keep looking the other way. Dome of the Faith coming down here for his opponent, Lucifron. No, Lucifron, you can see, already rallying towards that mosque. Going to be looking to get more scholars out. And Lucifron, as well as his brother Vortex, were 2 pioneers of the Delhi. For anybody unfamiliar with these 2 guys, back in Genesis, the very first Age of Empires 4 tournament, these guys were the pioneers of Delhi. They showed everybody how to do it, how to play it. And a lot of people wrote Delhi off. They said, Delhi, it's going to be a civilization that nobody really wants to get out and play, just because they're a complex civ. We don't really know too much about them, how they work. We're just going to focus on the French because it's easy. You just make knights and then you win the game, that sort of thing. But for the Delhi, it was always a little bit more complex, a little bit too difficult. But not for Lucifron and not for Vortex, and they were both big fans of this civilization before it even got that, before it got popular. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he's going to be playing it, but I suspect it's going to be just a case of the good old-fashioned, the good old-fashioned upgrade spam, which is exactly what we see. Blacksmith already coming down, also going to be dropping down a stable, so I'm not going for a double Blacksmith opening, which is something that is very, very common that we see coming out. But over on the other side of the map, we can see Marine Lord tapping away. 5 villagers on that landmark. He's looking to drop down that outpost on the second sacred site, and I gotta say, I like this, and also going for a wall in. This is good. This is good. This is the right thing, because you can't play heads up. What does heads up mean? Heads up, it's a poker term. It basically means 1 versus 1, and essentially it just means that, like, you're playing up against a person and you're playing them straight. You're not, you know, you're not being silly. You're not beating around the bush. You are playing them heads up. You are focusing. You guys are both going at it and fighting hard, and that typically means to play standard. You can't play standard, in my opinion, in this matchup on this map as the English. I feel like you're just going to get overwhelmed. The timing push that comes in from the Deli is going to be way too strong for you to stop. But I think this is definitely the right way for Marine Lord to play. But now up towards the north, it looks like that villager must have got picked off or picked up completely. We'll take a look. I think it might have just come back. I think he was going for a wall and then realized because of the cavalry that was coming out from his opponent, it wasn't going to be possible. But now up towards the north, you can see the arrow slits still yet to come through for Marine Lord. He's going to be researching that now. Going to be getting off a little bit of siege damage before he's able to do it. And Marine Lord, is he going for a fast castle behind this? Spearman coming out. This could be interesting. This could be interesting. So ideally in this situation, he's going to need to use the scouts to delay the capturing of the sacred site. So he might look to drop a scout down here. You can see the horseman already in position for Lucifron. He's ready to deny that from coming in. And the horsemen are going to be very effective at doing that, because if you've got spears out, they're just going to be running around in circles. If you've got archers, well, it takes a fair bit of a time to actually kill them. But the horsemen are going to force the scouts off the sacred site, or it will kill them. And typically it's going to do both. But now we can see him beginning to move out across the map with the scout. He's just looking to see exactly what his enemy is up to. A lot of cavalry coming out now for his opponent. But Marine Lord back behind this. It seems like he might be intent on going to castle. I mean, other than this, it doesn't really seem like he's doing too much. He's got stone coming in for the arrow slits. He's done a forced drop-off as well. He's sitting on 29 at the moment. So we do have arrow slits coming through in the center here, so that's going to give him plenty of room to move there. But the question is whether that's going to be enough to hold back what is coming. Because we all know what is coming. It is going to be an absolute shit show from the Deli. I suspect there's going to be a lot of units coming out from Lucifron. He's going to look to play it very heavily in Age 2, and he'll be able to transition into Age 3 pretty quickly. But Marine Lord behind this, you can see he's halfway up to castle. And when I say halfway up to castle, I don't mean quite literally. I mean he's collected half the resources for Castle Age at this point. And now going to be turning his attention towards that outpost. You can see the amount of cavalry that Lucifron's got out here already. You got that scout as well as 6 horsemen going to be sieging down that outpost in the north. Going to be securing up that sacred site. And we can see that there's probably going to be a scholar moving up here shortly. There's the scholars moving out now across the map. Going to have a 3rd scholar coming out. I'm assuming there's 1 scholar, 2 scholars. Where's that 3rd scholar? There's got to be a 3rd scholar somewhere. You guys know these things come in 3. At least that's what my mum told me about plane crashes. She'd be like, no, Drongo, don't travel now. There was 2 plane crashes. The 3rd one. You got to wait for the 3rd one. She's a very superstitious woman, that woman. She was I'm trying to think of what her star sign was, but you know what? I'd be giving too much... I'd be giving that too much credit, because she's a big believer in that, in astrology. You know, I could have triggered a lot of you guys and said astronomy. Oh my god, can you imagine how triggered you guys would have been? The YouTube comments. I feel like I should just say that just because I know that you guys are all going to comment on that, and then that's going to, like, that'll push the video. That'll give it a bit more traction. Yeah, my mum, she's not a fan of astronomy. She doesn't really like space. Get wrecked. Oh god, I know you guys love that shit. But now Wolf up in the north, he's going to be finding a couple of bites here on the horseman. Horseman realizes that he can't take the fight. You can see right there the wolf's actually going to be forced to fall back, and more wolves going to be getting in on the action as well. And now we hear that first sacred site being taken up. It's going to be down towards the south. The scout is down here. This is what we were talking about. The scout coming out from Marine Lord. But where's that horseman? There was a horseman that was here, but all of a sudden it's vanished. And now the scholar, unable to defend itself, is just going to be running around in circles trying its best. But it's going to take time. It is going to take time. And now the sacred site in the north also going to get captured up here. More units beginning to move out. We can see that horseman going to be making its way across the map, but a little bit of a misplay here from Lucifron. He had the horseman down there earlier, but obviously decided it was best to move it. We'll be regretting that now. Definitely going to be regretting that now. But look at the macro coming out from Lucifron. This is next level Deli stuff, and I gotta say, I love watching Lucifron play the Deli. It definitely feels like one of his main civs. I honestly feel like Lucifron, he was born to be a Deli player. He loves the civ. He's very, very effective with it. Really, really strong. And now we can see that scout. Oh, hold on a minute. 3 spears coming in, and I think we might have ourselves a little bit of a game. Indeed we do, as the horseman goes down, and this is the consequence of moving that horseman. If that horseman was here earlier, that scout would have been off this sacred site. Sure, those spears probably would have come out, but now in the middle of the map, look at the mass that is coming out right now for Marine Lord's opponent, Lucifron. He is looking to try and take this game by storm, and he is looking to do a huge amount of damage. I've just realized in the top right-hand corner that you'll see that both players are 0 and 0. That is not the case. Marine Lord won the first game, so it is 1-0 to Marine Lord. I apologize for not fixing up that bit of UI element. I'll make sure I get it fixed up if there is a third game, but Marine Lord's going to be trying his best to force it out in 2 games. You can see he's still stuck in the second age. He was intent on going up to the castle age, but he realizes, hold on a minute, I can't go up to the castle age. I need to fight this bad boy in the feudal age. I think maybe a second town center would have been the right play for Marine Lord. I think he did the right thing in dropping down a lot of these outposts, because it does delay and force a lot of units out from your enemy, but at the same time, you're not really doing much. Sure, I think this might come even down a bit to lack of experience in this matchup on this map. It's a very specific matchup on this map, and you can see Marine Lord's going to get completely overwhelmed here. He's going to try and keep it together, but it's going to be tough. A lot of archers, a lot of horsemen here. Archers on the back line doing a great job microing out. A couple of units getting stuck in there, but now he's going to have to fall back. Keep in mind that town center is a Gatling gun. It has got a Gatling gun up there. That is correct. There is quite literally a very high caliber gun sitting in that window right there. You can see it firing out, just doing what it does best. It's the same gun that they use on the A10 Warthog, but it looks like, hold on a minute, Marine Lord has managed to find a cleanup. He's called for backup, and all of a sudden we've got a cleanup over on aisle 3. Lucifron looks like he may have thrown just a little bit. And this is the consequence of going up against an English defensive town center like that, and I think that gives them a lot of space. But a quick villager count reveals that we've got 40 villagers for Lucifron, 39 for Marine Lord, so no real distance or difference between these two guys. Marine Lord's still doing a great job of chasing and just forcing out plenty of action out here, but still yet to see a barracks actually coming out from Lucifron. We'll take a look at his base. Too little, too late, mate. Too little, too late. You know it's just too little, too late. That is what Jojo said, and that is how I'm feeling, because you've lost all of your archer mass. But, I mean, you're still not looking terrible. It's just that all of your units have died, and that's typically not a good thing. Lucifron's landmark is under attack. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, it might not be a Gatling gun, but I tell you what, it still hurts. It still hurts. Town center going to be able to pick up 2 free kills there. I don't think any villagers went down. You can see that there was one there. No bodies down in the gold mine, but it might be a little bit of a delay before I actually looked at it. But more scholars coming in. You can see he's rallying over towards this mosque. He's got 5 scholars just sitting here idly by. And that's the next push. Like, congratulations, you defeated round number 1. Are you ready for round number 2, Marine Lord? Because it's going to be coming in. Marine Lord still yet to grab that double broadaxe upgrade. Has he got horticulture? No, he doesn't. He's obviously got the wheelbarrow. We saw that nice and early, and definitely not going to have any specialized pick. So with regard to his upgrades, he's going to be working on grabbing through those blacksmith upgrades. You can see he's got +1 ranged armor, +1 ranged attack. Now looking to get +1 melee attack as well, and might even think about going +1 melee armor. I wouldn't be surprised. But now the scout going to be sitting out here watching the sacred site, still yet to be captured up. And this is a consequence of Lucifron not really paying attention in the early stages of the game and failing to leave that single horseman down here. And as a result, it meant that that horseman has gone on to a better life, but so did the horseman that tried to take it back. And now we see that Lucifron going to be pushing in once again. Sacred site being neutralized up towards the north. There are plenty of horsemen up here, and we can see them chasing away that spearman that was trying to hold on to the sacred site. He was doing his best, a single spear going up against 4 horsemen. Even those odds I'm not going to be taking on that spearman, unfortunately. They're strong, but they're not that strong. They're not that strong. But now we start to see that mass beginning to build. Outpost going to be coming up in the middle as well for Lucifron, only providing line of sight. Also provides a little bit of an anchor point for him. I do like that play, and now Lucifron once again getting picked up with a wolf. It's not pretty. I don't like that sound. I don't like that sound, Mum. I don't like it. Get rid of it. That's the second time I've talked about my mum. Mum, if you're watching this, hi. Hope you're doing well. Mum does watch my YouTube videos. She tells me all the time. She's like, Drongo, sometimes I'll just go in and I'll like them. And then I'll leave. I'm like, no, Mum, you got to watch them. Otherwise, you're ruining my average viewer duration, Ma. I tell her that. She says, okay, I just leave the computer on then? Yes, just leave the computer on. Watch all the ads. Good, Mum. I expect you guys to say hi to my mum. Say hi to my mum for me. There was an Australian comedian. His name was Rove McManus. He had a show called Rove Live. This was back like maybe 2003, 2004. I used to love watching it. And his sign-off line was, Say hi to your mum for me. That was it. That was it. He was so cool. He was a really cool guy. I mean, he still is very cool. I will say that much. Rove McManus is still a very cool guy. But now we hear that age up coming through for Lucifron. And remember, that is all that economy coming through right now from those sacred sites. Obviously, that one in the north has been neutralized, but that one in the center still standing strong. The one to the south finally taken, and 2 sacred sites is going to be all he needs to continue boosting up that economy. Meanwhile, Marine Lord over here, you know, he's added in more farms and he's continuing to struggle. He's got walls in the back of his base to prevent any more raids from coming in. But just remember, I can't help but feel like it's too little too late. If he had opened with the second town center, I actually think that would have been the play. I think if he had just gone second town center, forego the sacred sites, wall the front, and go for longbows behind the walls, force your enemy up to the 3rd age. You get up to the 3rd age yourself, and you just build a massive amount of longbows. Sure, your enemy might be looking to go into... actually, they're probably going to elephants. How do you deal with the elephants? I still don't know how to deal with elephants, man. I'm going to be honest. Like, those tower elephants, they just get really, really hard to deal with when there's like 5 or 6 of them. I feel like you got to go age 4 and get bombards for them, but... yeah, other than that, it's really, really hard. Like, what do you focus them down with? Like, Springalds, I guess, maybe? But they only do 30 damage a pop, so it's still not the best. But now, we see a Scholar getting picked up. I don't know. Oh, this Scholar was actually looking to pick up this Relic. So that's going to be one of the things. We'll take a look at Lucifron. We hear right now, 1, 2 relics being picked up. There's 1, there's 2. 3rd one up towards the north. This sacred site's getting taken. There's the 3rd one. He's taken 3. That's going to be the 4th one over towards the west. He's taken all 3 sacred sites. He's taken 4 of the relics. The 5th one was trying to get picked up over here. 4th one is going to be heading back right now. In fact, you can see that Scholar heading over. The Spearman going to be here to look to hold. And now in the middle of the map, I apologize. We've missed a bit of a battle beginning to unfold. Spearman as well as Horseman working in tandem. You can see the archers on the back line going to be trying to get in a couple of shots, but unfortunately, Lucifron looks like he's overwhelming his opponent for what barely he has. And you can see he's trying to get up himself, but he's struggling right now. Marine Lord definitely not in the best position. A Wallalol going to be going down over towards the west of the map. It looks like it's going to be able to capture the 2 horsemen. The 2 horsemen look to make it alive, and now he's going to be able to continue his run on his rampage towards that base, his religious tirade. His relic capturing, but yeah, it is impressive stuff. You can see the way that, like, right now, it is just absolutely impressive the way that Lucifron is playing. Like, I feel like he is role-playing Dragon Ball Z. He's collecting the Dragon Balls, and now, like, this is the final Dragon Ball he's bringing it back. Well, technically, it's like the second last Dragon Ball. The final one's over here, but let's not talk about that one. It's the final Dragon Ball, but unfortunately, he loses it. He loses it. Outpost as well as a mill going to be going down for Lucifron here. He's doing a great job of just continuing to expand and applying pressure towards the front. The men-at-arm mass beginning to build here. +2s coming in. We see the force march coming in. He's got 2. How many have we got? We've got 2 blacksmiths at this stage. So he's looking to get enforced march. He's going to be his first choice, and then he's moving into +2 ranged armor. But now those men-at-arms going to begin moving in as well. You can see he's gone up with the House of Learning. I can tell you 100% he's gone up with the House of Learning. Indeed, he has Own Blade coming in now. King's Palace trying to get up, and you can see Marine Lord gets caught with his pants down. It's not going to be pretty for Marine Lord. All the villagers going to be jumping inside the town center. You can see the Gatling gun going to begin firing, but at the same time, there's not a lot of damage coming out for it. Marine Lord not looking pretty right now, and indeed, he taps out. It's 1-1. Lucifron evens up the series. Fellas, if you want to check out game number 3, it's going to be over on Mongolian Heights. I can definitely see Lucifron's got the Chinese. I don't know what Marine Lord's going to pick. I guess it's going to be the Holy Roman Empire. It'll be the next game uploaded to the channel. Make sure you check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.